can survive, survive, survive. I can survive, survive, survive. A voice of hope.
Hello loves, you're watching Voice of Hope, and this is the first episode on season 1, and we cannot be even more excited. On this season, the theme is the unspoken truth. Throughout this season, we're going to be highlighting some of your favorite people, as well as you, the viewers, getting your honest opinion on a lot of topics that we rarely discuss, but we mostly think about it. Today's episode, we're discussing dating in the black community, and featured in this episode are NFL player Bret Lockett for New England. He brought up some excellent points, and that made me wonder, is this whole conflict that we have between light skin and dark skin, could that be one of the reasons why some black women are against some black men dating outside their race? Now, one of our viewers said that some black men date outside their race out of ignorance, thinking that white women are better. So is it the whole thing with the higher your skin tone, like the lighter I guess you are, the better you are? Is that the anger that some black women have against this whole issue? But why do black men really date outside their race? I discussed with Bret Lockett to find out. Check this out. Why do you think black men do date outside their race?
In America?
In America.
Well, it's America. You know, and there's different ethnicities and cultures from all over the world. So I don't think that whether it's a black man or a white man or an Asian man, I don't think anybody should be pigeonholed into who they date. So, you know, this is one country filled with everything. So why would you just stick to one race? I think, you know, all races are beautiful and all people are beautiful. So I think that it's not just a black thing. I think it's just a people thing. You know, we're the only country where we're so diverse. You know, our diversity spreads from every, you know, spectrum of the earth. You know, a lot of other countries like Europe isn't really like that. They're not mixed. If you go to Poland, it's usually all Polish people. You know, if you go to Africa, it's usually all, you know, black people, unless you go to South Africa. So I think that is the biggest thing why, you know, primarily black men date outside of that race.
But I think that the very fact that it's being talked about as an issue, because you, for example, you bring up Africa. Now I'm Nigerian. In my country, there's diverse races, and people do date outside their race, but it's not a known issue. But in America, within the black community, the women, or some women rather, find it as an issue. Do you think that do you think there's a problem that maybe the men are running away from their women, or is just to
I don't think
kind
it's
of
a
get
problem.
into the diversity?
No, I don't think it's a problem. I think everybody has their preferences and things that they like, and you know, who's to say what the next person likes?
Exactly.
It just all comes down to what you feel about what you want. That's all it is. I mean, if I don't know the statistics. Do you have statistics?
Oh no, we're gonna go into that.
We're gonna get into statistics. Okay, so I mean, I would love to hear the statistics, but at the same time, I just think that it's, like I said prior, you know, it's America, and we just, you know, everybody is everybody.
Have you ever dated outside your race?
I have.
And is there any differences between what race that person was and dating black women?
I mean, there's a race in dating all cultures. I mean, you know, the black culture in general, we're very, very pop, you know, very materialistic, and I think a lot of people outside of the black culture aren't really like that. And there's a lot of egotism and things like that go, you know, that come with us, and it just is from where we came from and how we got in America. And I think we're just so strong, and we hold on to our culture so much, is from, you know, the roots of slavery, and we're so proud to be black that I think sometimes we exude that a little, you know, too much. So I think maybe that can be why, you know, some black men go elsewhere, you know, because, you know, it's everybody wants a woman at the end of the day. And when, you know, a woman is too aggressive, and, you know, I love an intelligent woman, I love a woman with a voice, but you don't need your voice to be overheard, you know. And I think a lot of black women kind of want to push it in your face rather than just let it, you know, just be there, just let it organically kind of happen.
And it's great you brought that up, because that's one of the reasons that one of our viewers brought up, that black women they're not submissive, and a man wants, at the end of the day, someone that's submissive. But just like you mentioned, it goes back to the roots, or even the fact that most black women grew up in single parent homes, so they're raised to be independent. So how do they transition from being raised this way, that you have to be independent and you have to be strong and you have to be aggressive? How do they transition from that to being submissive in a relationship?
I don't think it's being submissive. I think it's being positive and it's being there for your partner. I don't think that any woman in a relationship should you know, step down to the man like, oh, this is a man. Of course, let a man be a man. You know, let a man take care of, you know, what he's supposed to take care of, the business and things of that nature. But you don't have to kind of put yourself out there to where you're like, no, I'm the strong black woman and I need this and I run this. No, it's not like that. It's a team. And I think that's what a lot of people, not just in black relationships, but in all relationships, don't really understand, that it's a team. And a man is a man and a woman is a woman. You know, it's like if we were out in, you know, in the wilderness and, you know, we're stranded and, you know, we need to go get food and, you know, you hear wolves and bears outside howling. I'm not going to send you out there to go find food, right? You're going to be like, you're the man, you go, right? So, I mean, it's just letting the man be the man when it's time, but also being that strong backbone, because, you know, behind every strong man is a strong woman. Exactly. So I don't think women have to necessarily, back to your question where you said being independent, coming from single homes, that's great, that's fine, that's beautiful, but don't be so independent that you can't let a man help you.
Beautiful. That's a good way to put it. So I'll go through some of the other reasons that people mention and tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
So one viewer said that black women are more confrontational than white women, and that's why, you know, it's easier, for example, for a man to get away with cheating with a white woman than a black woman. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree. I agree. I mean, I'm gonna be 100% honest. You know, black women kind of know the game a little bit more, because that whole issue, even though every race cheats and, you know, we're all people, I think it's more prevalent in the black community. So I think that's kind of why, I mean, especially growing up, women have dealt with it their whole lives.
Exactly.
And, you know, in Asia and, you know, in India, Iran, places like that, they might have done it, but the women really don't know about it because of the way their culture is set up. So I think that could be a major reason, but I believe it's true.
Okay. Yeah. And another one said some black women have an attitude.
Some, not all.
Have you, any of your exes have ever had an attitude?
Yes.
What was the craziest thing one of your exes did that was African American?
That was African American. The craziest thing, probably going through my phone.
Do you have a problem with that?
I do. Like if I say, hey, if I have my phone here and I'm like, hey, can you check, you know, this and this? Oh, my phone's not working, let me use yours. Okay, yeah, go ahead. But like if I'm just like coming out the shower and you're like going through my phone and stuff, I'm like, what are you on my phone for? I was just looking up this. Okay, cool. But like I don't like.
Would that be a deal breaker for you?
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, phone is, you know, my business. Personal. I'm not gonna go through your phone. I don't believe you should go through my phone. You know, it's just one of those things.
I agree, naturally. Okay, now, and some reasons why some black women say they're against black men dating outside their race. A lady stated that a black woman should be a black man's first choice. What's your take on that?
Black woman should be a black man's first choice.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's true.
Because she said it, because when I got the message, I said, okay, in what sense are you referring to? And it was in the sense that naturally people of the same races should be attracted to each other. So it's like, why isn't that? Why aren't they the first? Why aren't they the first choice, basically?
Is she only attracted to black men?
I mean, she told me.
I mean, that's the question I would ask her. You know, I would say, do you not find any other race attractive? Because, I mean, there's so many different races, you can't tell me what you find attractive and what you don't. And they come in all shapes and colors. It's like if you go to Brazil or you go to Dominican Republic, you'll find somebody that looks just like you, but they speak Spanish. Exactly. So, I mean, who's to say just black? You know, that's what I don't understand. You know, what we do, I mean, this is Voice of Hope, and at the end of the day, we're trying to communicate a positive message. So it's to really let people understand that at some point, even as a black woman, if you're looking at a black man dating outside his race and you're judging that situation, it's kind of indirectly even being racist towards the person he's dating. So but the thing is, why are you judging somebody else's situation? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where the problem comes. Right. And that's what we're trying to get, first of all, to the root of it. Is there a problem with the black women? It's not a problem with the black women. It's the problem with the black community. Because we're so concerned about pop culture and what's going on media takeout and world star hip hop that we don't focus on the worldly things. You know, what we focus on is probably this big compared to the overall spectrum of the world. We don't watch CNN. We don't, you know, we don't read Bloomberg or watch Bloomberg. We're only worried about what goes on in hip hop and entertainment. The majority of us. I'm not saying that we all, you know, we all don't, but the majority of us. And that's why I believe we're not able to move up into higher realms of the world, because we pigeonhole ourselves by only focusing on those things. You know, it's all about what's the hot sneakers, and, you know, Chris Brown and Drake threw a bottle and hit, you know, Tony Parker in the eye. Like, we focus on all those type of things when the rest of the world really isn't focused on it at all. They're focused on things that matter and the way they can change the world, and we don't. So I think that is the main reason why we're not able to move further.
And what advice can you give for people to kind of come out of that mindset? Because that looks like something that has to do with like a slavery of the mind kind of thing. Right. So what kind of advice can you give to people regarding that?
Well, I can say that I personally used to be like that, you know, being young and being, you know, surrounded by primarily blacks, you know, playing football as well. I always was worried about what's the hot song, what's the hot shoes, what's the hot party, and that's a young mindset. And I'm not saying when you're young, don't have fun, because those are all fun things to do, and I still have fun. But at the same time, you still have to hip yourself to what's going on in the world. Don't just watch BET or MTV or whatever the case may be. Watch CNN, read magazines, you know, pick up, you know, whatever interest you, pick that up and read about it, because we don't do enough reading as a black community as well. And it's just education, and, you know, become culture. That's one thing that also hinders us, is because we're not cultured. You know, other ethnicities, they go out, you know, they go on vacations, they go out the country. Black people, and we primarily don't, because of our financial circumstances, and we're just not cultured to those kind of things. We're not cultured to going to Barbados and you know, going to France and Italy. You know, other ethnicities, they do that on, you know, every year, you know, from being 4 and 5, so they actually know what's going on in the world. We're just kind of stuck in America and stuck in wherever we're from. If we're in ATL, we're stuck in the ATL mentality. If we're from Houston, we're stuck in the Houston mentality. We don't go out and see the world, and a lot of other cultures do, and they come from other places to where we're at, so they really know what it's like being somewhere else. The reason why America is like it is because of all the races mixed up, and I believe that this is a melting pot of being with whoever you want to be with.
I love that. I really love that. And I think that if anything, what people should learn from this interview is that experience something else, try and take a step out of the normal stereotypes, or what they say, this is what, you know, black people should do, or this is what, whatever race you are, but try to experience something else, and through that you will see life in a different lens, and who knows, fall in love with somebody different.
Love is love. Doesn't matter. I mean, I know people who are, you know, with black and black that are, you know, happy, and I know people that are with black or Asian or black and white that are happy. All that matters at the end of the day is that you're happy being with whoever you're with, no matter what other people say. As long as you guys have a beautiful relationship, a beautiful understanding, there should be no reason why you should be with the next person because of their race.
But what would you say actually to, because there are some ignorant men who choose to date outside their race in the sense that they feel that, okay, this is better. You know, because when we did a survey with certain people, and some people just say, oh no, I think our black people just, the way they talk about their own black people is not right. And what advice would you give to somebody who's doing that out of ignorance?
Just not to stereotype people, because a lot of people do that. I know people that do that. You know, I only date, you know, this race because you know, I don't like black girls because of the reasons you named. And I just say to them, I just let everybody give everybody a chance. That's all it is. If I give you a chance, say we go out, we're dating, and I give you a chance, and you don't have any type of, you know, the black stereotypes, I would be like, you know, I would love to date you. You know what I mean? Nobody wants those stereotypes coming from any woman.
Exactly.
Black women, white women, Asian women. Nobody wants, you know, bossy in your face or rah-rah. Nobody wants any of that. So it doesn't matter if black, it could be anything. I mean, I was with another ex of mine that wasn't black, you know, that had that same mentality. So I would just say to the guys, give everybody a chance, because we all have stereotypes. We all say, oh, that's, you know, just another black girl, you know. No, just because you seem like a very nice person, you seem like you're very well-rounded, and you've been some places, you know, you're from Nigeria, but you're in the U.S., so it's just giving people chances.
Exactly.
You know, just being open, just be open, it doesn't matter.
My discussion with Bret Lockett was amazing. I love this honesty on the topic. And at the end of the day, stereotypes, I believe, is what sums up all the issues that we see facing dating in the black community. Love doesn't have a race. As long as you date or marry a human being, that's what matters. I'd love to hear responses on this topic. Email us at response@becomeavoiceofhope.com. The email is on the screen right now. And let us know what you think. Let us know if you support what some of the people said, or if you're against what the people said. Who knows? Let us know, and we will publish them on the website. Thank you for watching, and until next episode, be a voice of hope.
One me, one voice, one dream. I can survive, survive, survive. I can survive, survive.